That is one of my all-time favorite songs, so I decided to share it during the random chatter section of my video today. I'm building up the nerve to finally go live for the first time. Hopefully, I'll do that before the end of 2022. That is a goal of mine, y'all. So, send me some good juju that I meet my goal of going live by the end of the year this year. In the meantime, until I've worked up that courage, I decided to practice using the StreamYard and, you know, making a video, having something to talk about, and uploading those until I start going live. And it'll be few and far between when I do go live once I do start, but I hope it won't be, once every 6 to 8 months as it's been with me posting videos this year. I apologize for not being consistent. It's just hard for me to get motivated to come on and talk about all the things we get inundated with in a day. It's enough just thinking about all the mess, but then to come on and talk about it and to get all these opinions and just to have a back and forth banter about, some really serious things that are going to impact our lives that we just sort of talk about so frivolously on YouTube. I haven't found the right niche for me to tap into that because most of the things I want to talk about, they're draining. And, by the time I go with my honeyboo and close friend or two, it seems like I've all talked out on it or that I've got an opinion that I know is not going to change, regardless probably of what I hear on YouTube. So I just like to more so take in information than to put information out. But I'm prayerful about having topics that I feel comfortable coming on and talking more about in 2023. Um, Top of list, the Lori Vallow Daybell trial. I hope we do get around to that sometime in 2023 and that I'll be able to come live and speak about it. That's what really got me wanting to create content on YouTube was that trial just to let people know this crazy timeline of events that happened. It's a video I did back in I think April or May of this year, sometime in the spring, late spring, I think. Um, I did just a whole breakdown of the timeline of everything that Lori and Chad had been up to, and Lori's brother Alex in unaliving her fourth husband and her two youngest children, two out of her three children. The other one that's still living is a grown adult. But her two minors, she, along with her brother and her boyfriend, an eventual fifth husband, took away from this earth as if they had a right. And it just really blew me away, this story, while we were in the pandemic. And I would come on YouTube and try to see everything everybody had to say about it, and really kind of got in the trenches with the true crime community. And some of the biggest players in it now were just starting out with this Lori Vallow trial, or it wasn't even a trial at that point. Just two children are missing, and the mama won't tell anybody where they're at, and she's going around acting like nothing's wrong, and people haven't seen her children in months. And it was just fascinating to see this MAGA mom just totally turn into this evil woman in a span of a couple of years. It's truly, truly, truly a fascinating story. I'm not the only one who's really into it, you know. Just type Laura Vallow into the search engine and you'll see what comes up. But definitely check out my video on that. Um, what else is going on? Two great things happened today. Number one, Herschel Walker lost the Senate race against Reverend Warnock down in Georgia. So we don't have to worry about sending that fool to Congress. I would have really been sad for America had he pulled it off and won that race. And, he was Trump's pick. Trump begged him to run. Trump pretty much forced him to run, knowing who this man is, knowing full well who he is. But Trump thought he just had that Midas touch. It seems like his Midas touch is worn off. Everything he's touching is definitely not turned into gold with these midterm elections. Good thing for the Democrats because, at one point I was really afraid for our country and for democracy, but I think we'll be all right. Is Trump ever going to get everything he deserves after the stunts he pulled? Who knows? But I do feel like he's going to have to um, be held accountable for something. And that's more than he's ever been held accountable for because up to now he's really not been held accountable for anything. So I think those chickens are coming home to roost, and Trump's going to get his pretty soon. And you can see people have already started to turn on him because they're not supporting his hand-picked candidates like they were so heavily before. So it's all good signs. So that's the first thing, that good thing that happened. And then um, I also read later last night that Nia Long broke up with her cheating boyfriend. I don't know how to say his name, but it was her fiance of 13 years actually, her baby's father. They have a son together. But they've been engaged for 13 years and he hadn't married her, and he's the coach of the he was the coach of the Boston Celtics, and he embarrassed her really badly by having an affair that was leaked very publicly with a woman who was also married and associated with the team. So he's not supposed to be fraternizing with these women and definitely not having, carrying on affairs with them. She's married. He's engaged for 13 years. It's just a really bad, embarrassing look. Fortunately for him, he was able to fall forward and become the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So I guess Nia decided that she wasn't moving with him to New York. I guess she um, thought better of herself, and I'm happy for her for doing that. Thinking better for herself and of herself, and walking away from that. She's a beautiful woman. I can imagine, men love to waste women's time. I just don't understand that whole 13 years of fiance. Why'd he waste so much of her time when he knew he wasn't being faithful? I'm sure the time he got caught isn't the only time he cheated. So who knows what this woman's been through over the past 13 years. But with this, she did say to TMZ that she didn't get a heads up or anything that the story was about to drop in the news about him having an affair and the subsequent suspension, and then firing from the Celtics. Like, she was blindsided by it all. You would have thought he would have had enough decency once he knew that it was all going to come out to tell her. But men who cheat and who you know slip around, they're cowards. And just like he couldn't be honest about wanting to see other people, he couldn't be honest when it was all, the ish was about to hit the fan. He couldn't even be man enough to give her a heads up. And I know people say Neil Long isn't the easiest person to deal with, but today I've got to say, poor Nia, she deserved better than that from him. I guess every night for her. That was probably every night for her fiance. So I'm sure she wasn't always the most pleasant to him, and with for good reason. Today's mantra. This is a more spiritual section of my video. Check it out. So I wanted to use that as a segue to talk about today's mantra. Today's mantra is do it for you. Do it for you. And by that, by saying do it for you, I mean bet on yourself. Do it for you to irreverence. Right time, right place, right energy. Be alert. It helps to be deeply rooted within yourself so you're not easily distracted by what other people are doing around you because you have a purpose and a focus. You are not concerned necessarily with being nice, but you want to be concerned with being respectable. And being deeply rooted in yourself will earn the respect of others. You're not going this way with the wind one day and that way with the wind the next. You know, you can't lose something that you are. You can't lose who you are. You can only lose things that you have. But who you are, as long as you hold steady to it, is yours. It's within your grip. You are already complete. You have to realize that everything that you are it wholly, fully. So be a joyous energy behind what you do, realizing that you're in control and you can actually speak your destiny into existence. Take responsibility for your life. The Lord says, be still and know that I am God. There's more to you than just flesh. You were made by the Most High in His image for a divine purpose. Take responsibility for your life. Do it for you. Do not give unhappiness any form of a dwelling place inside of you. Pain cannot feed on joy. Again, have a joyous energy behind what you do. Become enthusiastic about your life. Say yes to life and see how life suddenly starts working for you rather than against you. Everything happens for you, not to you. Wake up each morning filled with joy and excited for what's to come. I feel motivated by all the good things that I see happening around me. I see that, people are doing well. That makes me feel like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. They can set some goals and reach them. I can set some goals and reach them because I am protected and loved by the Most High in this universe, and everything is working out in my favor. And I get up and I say that to myself every day. Everything is working out in my favor. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for my body, my healthy body. I'm grateful for my sound mind. I'm grateful for my immovable soul that loves God. Every day I notice and feel gratitude for the abundance around me. I love myself. Generational curses break when you love yourself. I love and honor myself. I respect my boundaries and I trust myself. I know who I am. I am my best friend and my biggest ally. I can do anything. I am a valued part of the universe that supports me. Paulo Coelho said, stay mad, but behave like normal people. Run the risk of being different, but learn to do so without attracting attention. I think that's good advice because, we never really grow up. We just learn how to act in public. We learn, that we have to think about what we think, say, and do because our thoughts become our words and our words become our actions. And we need to think about what we think, say, and do because we don't need to follow that path all the time of least resistance and blurt out the first thing that comes out of to our minds and out of our mouths because the personality that we project not only affects us but it affects the people around us. It not only affects you, it affects the people around you, your children, your partner, your spouse, your parents. your loved ones, your best friends, your personality, who you put out to the world as who you are affects those people around you. So you need to project a healthy image, because whatever you project, that's what people are going to believe about you. That's what they're going to say about you. They're not going to say, oh, well, she comes across kind of rough around the edges and harsh sometimes, but the Lord knows her heart and she's a good person. Nope. They're not going to say that. They're going to say bad things about you. And you don't want people saying bad things about you. You want people to speak good things about you. And self-care is important. If you look good, it's easier to feel good. It's hard to be hateful and mean and cruel when you fly. You know, what's there to hate about? When you look good, you don't even think about how ugly the next person might be, because you're not comparing yourself to them. You're looking in the mirror and comparing yourself to how you remember you were down and depressed at one point and you couldn't even get out of the bed to get dressed and put on makeup or put on nice clothes. So you're looking at yourself looking good, saying, hot damn, look at me. Picture this. Who would have thought? You inspire people who pretend not to even see you when you're looking good, but they see you. They definitely see you. And that's another thing, be selective with the company you keep, because people watch you, they watch the people around you, they watch the people that are watching them are watching who's around them. So they're watching you too. So, be mindful of the company you keep. Don't let your good be evil spoken of. Don't be a good person with morals and values and fruits of the spirit, and you're hanging around with bullies and assholes. It reflects very badly on you, and you won't get very far if you keep bad company. Maya Angelou says only equals make friends. Any other relationship is out of order. She also says this other quote, be careful when a naked man offers you a shirt. So if you're so righteous and you're so good, your crowd should reflect that. Because either you're playing yourself or they're playing you. But either way, you need to, evaluate those relationships. Water seeks its own level. So people are going to judge you by the company you keep. And your life is going to be impacted heavily by the company you keep.
Make the people who aren't for me start saying things like, oh, I don't want to call her. She's not fun no more. Help them to say that, God. Let them say that, and help me not be wounded when they say it. Because if they can't connect to where I'm going, then we might as well end it right now. Only you know the plans you have for me. And if they don't fit in that plan, let it end right now. If you can't change your mind about me, then change your path and let it be separated. Still covered under blood, just not connected to me. You still have access to the throne, just not connected to me. Because I'm in a season where I can't handle distractions. I'm in a season where you either got to be for me or against me. And I don't really know which side you're going to choose, but this on the bubble thing where we kind of friends, but we not friends, where you can talk about me and not treat me well, and I just learned how to recover. No, I can't do that. That's not for me no more. I changed my mind. See, that's what's dangerous about asking God to change your mind, is it starts kicking up dust in your life. Because all of a sudden people preferred you when you were ignorant. You preferred me when I was drunk and high and out of my mind. You preferred me when I would just take anything and you could lie to me and cheat on me and say you're going to borrow money and never give it back. You liked me better. But when I started saying no, when I started setting up boundaries, all of a sudden we got issues. Well, God bless you. I'm glad it's over, because I'm not going to shrink to make you more comfortable.
And I think that is a great place to leave off today.